Almost house. Sagot na mi Roget. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Cebu 3rd DEO for this pre-bidding conference for civil works as scheduled today, March 5, 2025. But before anything else, please arise for a prayer.
Is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Okay, thank you. So back here, Cebu 3rd DEO. So before we move on, allow me again to introduce to you the people behind the Bid and Awards Committee of Cebu 3rd. So yours truly, Adi Ray Navales, is the chair, at the same time, the assistant district engineer. On my left side here is the co-chair for the back, and the chief of the maintenance section, Engineer Lisel Amameo. And on her right side is the member and an engineer from the construction section. We have Engineer Raul Flores. On my right side is the chief of the construction section. We have Engineer Dali Almirol. And on her right side is the chief of the planning and design section, Engineer Pritzi Ortega. And on the right side of Engineer Pritzi is a member and engineer from the planning and design section. We have Engineer Nino Alfi. Then, of course, we are assisted by the engineers from the planning and design section. We have Engineer Barbanillo, Engineer Mabao, and Engineer Gascon. And also, we are live through the assistance of our IT officer, Mr. A.G. Kababan. Okay, so without much ado, we will now start with the discussion of our projects. So there are about 6 projects that will be discussed this afternoon. The details and technical details of the project, aspects, and so on. So there are 6 convergence and special support program, and there are 3 convergence special support program, and also 3 organizational outcome. So we have 6. The first one, we have contract ID 25HF0010, and this is about the improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations, or known as Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, the TRIP. Access road leading to Mount Manungal, Barangay Sunog, Balamban, Cebu, with a contract duration of 103 calendar days, and the approved budget of the contract is 4,900,000 pesos only. For the next one, we have 25HF0073, and this is all about the Road System Network Development Program, construction of bypass and diversion roads, Barili Aluginsan Coastal Road, Phase 6, Cebu. Located at Barili, Cebu, contract duration is 147 calendar days, while the approved budget of the contract is 58,167,305 pesos. And the third one, we have 25H, contract ID 25H F0074. Contract name is the road widening at the Cebu-Toledo Warp Road, Oling Toledo Warp. And this is phase 6. So the location is at Barangay Sangi and Luray 2, Toledo City, Cebu. Contract duration is 147 calendar days. Approved budget of the contract is 30,562,182 pesos. For the fourth one, we have contract ID 25HF0075. And this is all about the secondary roads, no? Road widening, secondary roads at Toledo Tabuelan, San Remio Road, and contract duration is 149 calendar days, and the approved budget is 31,177,818 pesos only. And for the fifth one, we have contract ID 25H F0079, and this is about the Basic Infrastructure Program, or under Convergence and Special Support Program. Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, access roads or bridges from the national road leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities. So this is the construction of road at Barangay Mag-Alwa, Tuburan, Cebu, with a contract duration of 108 calendar days, while the approved budget of the contract is 19,800,000 pesos only. And finally, the last but not the least, the sixth one, we have contract ID 25HF0080, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, or BIP, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities. And specifically, this is the construction of road from Barangay Binabag to Barangay Duangan, Pinamungaan, Cebu. Contract duration is 129 calendar days, while the approved budget of the contract is 39,600,000 pesos only. Total project cost, all the 6 projects, is 184,207,305 pesos only. So without much ado, we will start with the discussion for 25HF0010. And I'll give the floor to the planning and design section, who will discuss this once. So we have Engineer Gascon, who is assigned to discuss the technical details of the project. Okay, so Engineer Gascon.
Good afternoon. For contract ID 25HF0010, contract name Convergence and Special Support Program, construction or improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program or TRIP, access road leading to Mount Manungal, Barangay Sunog, Balamban, Cebu. This is located at Balamban, Cebu, with a contract duration of 103 calendar days, an approved budget of the contract of 4,900,000 pesos. Description of works to be done is divided into 4 parts. Parts A, facilities for the engineer. Part B, other general requirements. Part C, earthworks. And Part G, drainage and slope protection structures. For Part A, we have item A118, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, that is 3.43 months. Now for Part B, other general requirements, we have item B3, permits and clearances. This includes application fee and notarial fee. Item B5, project billboard and signboard, 3 each. B71, occupational safety and health program, 3.43 months. B81, traffic management, 3.43 months. And B9, mobilization demobilization, 1 lump sum. For Part C, earthworks, we have item 1022, surplus common excavation, 1,585.68 cubic meters. Now for Part G, drainage and slope protection structures, we have item 524, lined canal stone masonry, 28.22 cubic meters. Item 5111, A3, gabions, 1 meter by 1 meter by 2 meter, metallic coated, 418 cubic meters. Item 5113, filter cloth, 438 square meters. Item 5121E, erosion control mat type 5, 1,272.26 square meters. And lastly, item 7151, geotextile, 1,272.26 square meters. So that would be all. That are the works to be done for the contract ID number 25HF0010.
Okay, thank you. We move on to the next one, after which we have discussed everything. We move to the additional policies, no? Okay, so the next we have 25HF0073. This will be discussed by Engineer Mabaw. Okay, Engineer Mabaw.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be discussing 25HF0073 with a project title, Organizational Outcome, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Network Development Program, Construction of Bypass and Diversion Roads, Barili, Aluginsan, Coastal Road, Phase 6, Cebu. It is located at Barili, Cebu, with a total project duration of 147 calendar days with a total appropriation of 60.277 million. It has 4 sections. Section 1, Station 2 plus 003 to Station 2 plus 580, in which ang major scope for this is slope protection. And then for the Section 2, we have Station ang Station 1, ang Section 1 kay located at Barangay San Rafael, Barili, Cebu. And for the Section 2, we have Station 2 plus 640 to Station 2 plus 680. Iyahang major scope of work is slope protection og natay shoulder kay nay nahulpa dito nga portion, so ato siyang gi-repair. And then for the Section 3, we have kanang construction sa carriageway and also sa shoulder. Then this involves nga nani siya portion nga nay 1 lane and then mo 2 lanes siya, and then mo repair na sad siya kanang cross drain, and then balik na sad siya 2 lanes. And then mag-shoulder na po siya. And then for the Section 4, we have Station 4 plus 563 to Station 5 plus 928, in which yung major scope of work is road concreting and then mag shouldering, and after is road concreting na pod. And I will move on to the items involved of this project. We have Part A. We have the provisions of the field office of the engineer and the operation and maintenance. Both are 4.89 months. And then for the next part, Part B, other general requirements, we have the permits and clearances, which involves the environmental clearances and the notarial fee sa atong mga sections. And then we have the project billboard and signboard, which is 6 each, in which in every section magbutang taog DPWH nga billboard. And then we have the safety and health, the traffic management, and the mobilization and demobilization. And then for the part C, the earthworks, we have the removal of trees 150 to 300 diameter small, 64 each. And then we have the removal of large trees above 900 diameter, 6 each. Kay dako kay nga catch siya dito. And then we have the removal of structures and obstructions. We natay remove nga existing cross drainage nga naay wing wall, since ato man siyang padakan. And then we have the removal of actual structures and obstructions, 0.20 meters thick PCCP. So, natay i-remove dito nga guba na nga PCCP. Og natay gi-remove natay gi-remove nga guba nga PCCP. And then we have the surplus common excavation. And then the structure excavation common soil. This is for the pedestal sa atong street lights. Ako lang i-iterate ang sa atong surplus common excavation, in which ang quantity kay gi-consider na to ang 25% nga kuan for the embankment shrinkage. And then we have the embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil. And then we have the subgrade preparation common material. This is for the subgrade preparation for those nga naay surplus excavation nga portion. Kay sa embankment included na dito ang subgrade preparation sa dupa. And then for the aggregate for part D, we have the aggregate sub-base course. We have 0.2 ang thickness for the carriageway, and then 0.2 for the shoulder. And then we have the part E surface courses, which is we have the PCCP 0.20 meters thickness. This is for the shoulder. And then we have the PCCP 0.28 meters thickness for the carriageway. And then we have part F, bridge construction. We have the item reinforcing steel grade 40. This is for the proposed nga covered canal. Kaya na yung mga open canal dito ato siyang gikaveran. And then this is also for the proposed nga cross drainage, pag-extend sa mga existing cross drain dito. And this is also for the pedestals sa long street lights. This is also for the slow protection and for the pile cap. Same sa atong structural concrete, 20.68 MPa class 8, 28 days nga item. Then we have the reinforcing steel grade 60, which is for the street light nga pedestal. And then we have the paint. This is for the reconstruction of fence kay sa section 2 na ay naitag-iya dito nga magpa-remove siya sa iyahang fence. At the same time, iyahang ipa-reconstruct na to para wala tayo bayron. And then we have the drainage and slow protection structures. We have the pipe culvert class 2 RCPC. This is 1510 nga diameter nga RCPC. For the siya kana existing cross drainage dito kaya ito man siyang i-extend. And then we have the stone masonry. This is for the slope protection. And then we have the sheet pile steel slope protection para sa atong slope protection. And then we have the miscellaneous structures. We have the hazard markers 450 by 600 chevron signs. So nagbutang tag mga hazard markers dito for And then we have the trees and furnishing and transplanting. And then we have the reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white. And then we have the single arm solar LED roadway lighting, 8 meters pole, 80 watts to 120 watts, 125 watts. And then for division two buildings, part E, finishing and other civil works, we have the cement plaster finish. This is for the reconstructions of fence, as well as a CHB, non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 150 mm, and also for the structural steel, both for the reconstruction of fence. That would be all for 25 HF 0073.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Mabo. So we proceed now to 25HF0074. Okay, we'll discuss this. So Engineer Barbanillo, no? So you take it away. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing 25HF0074. Contract name, organizational outcome, ensure safe and reliable national road system network development, road widening Cebu Toledo Wharf Road, Oling Toledo Wharf, kilometer 53 plus 965 to kilometer 54 plus 525, phase 6, Cebu. Location of the contract, Barangay Sangi and Barangay Loraidos, Toledo City, Cebu. Contract duration is 147 calendar days. Items involved for the project is Part A, facilities for the project engineer, provision of office, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, 4.9 months. Operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer, 4.9 months. That would be all for the Part A. For the next part, the Part B, other general requirements. The Bay 3, permits and clearances. B5, project billboard and or signboard. B7, 1, occupational safety and health program. B8, traffic management. And lastly, B9, mobilization and demobilization. That will be all for the Part B. For the next part, the Part C, earthworks, individual removal of trees, 150 to 300 diameter. This is for the removal of existing trees. And the next, we have item 1011, removal of structures and obstruction. This is for the removal of kanang affected structures dito mga ROW. Next, we have removal of actual structures and obstructions, curve and gutter. Removal of structures, obstructions, concrete para na sa existing canal. Next, removal of existing guardrails. Next, removal of existing guardrail posts. Next, removal of actual structures, obstruction, 0.2 take PCCP para na siya sa existing shoulder. Next, we have removal of actual structures, obstruction, 0.1 M thickness ACP para na siya sa existing asphalt babaw sa shoulder. Next, we have surplus common excavation, embankment from roadway excavation or structure excavation, common soil, subgrade preparation, common materials. That would be all for the earthwork. Next, the part D, sub-base and sub-base course, aggregate sub-base course. So, para na siya sa sub-base sa proposed widening and sa shouldering. Next, you have the part A, surface courses, Portland cement, concrete pavement, unreinforced 28 M thickness for 10 days. Para na siya sa proposed widening and shouldering. For the next part, the part G, drainage and slope protection structures, reinforcing steel grade 40. Para na siya sa reinforcement sa extension sa existing RCBC. Next, structural concrete, 20.68 MPa, Class A, 28 days. Para gihapon na siya sa existing RCBC. Next, line canal, rectangular reinforced concrete. Para na siya sa proposed line canal both sides. And that would be all for the part G. The part H, miscellaneous structures, curb and gutter precast, right-of-way monuments concrete, regulatory sign 600 mm R6 10B, miscellaneous signs, bike lane signs. So, para na siya sa regulatory signs sa atong bike lane. Next, we have trees, furnishing, transplanting, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, reflectorized pavement markings yellow, and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings green. So that would be all, sir, for the
Okay, thank you, Engineer Barbanillo. Uh, that's for 25HF0074. So we now proceed
Excuse
with,
me, Mr. Chair.
okay, yes,
Can I add some
okay,
details on
proceed.
25HF0074? Thank you. For the widening, the road widening located at Cebu Toledo Wharf Road in Barangay Sangya and in Barangay Luray. So for this project, we have two components. The first is the civil works, which is which is advertised with an ABC of 30 million, and the other component is the right of way acquisition. So for this project, this is widening project, so meaning there are affected structures for both sides in along this section. So we have around 3 million for the road right of way acquisition. And also for the removal of structures and obstruction, we have included in the contract the uh, payment of affected structures, because in the right of way acquisition, we are limiting to 10% of the allocation only. So for those contractor who are interested in joining for this contract, please be aware that uh, there are there are payments to be made included in the contract. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Ortega. We now proceed to contract ID 25HF0075.
thank you, sir.
Okay, proceed, Engineer Barbanillo.
We'll be discussing again 25HF0075. Contract name, organizational outcome, ensure safe and reliable national road system, network development program, road widening, secondary roads, Toledo, Tabaylan, San Remigio Road, kilometer 0058 plus 500 to kilometer 0059 plus 00. Items involved again, Part A, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, 4.97 months. Operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer, 4.97 months. That would be all for the Part A. For the Part B, other general requirements, permits and clearances. Next, project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and last, mobilization, demobilization. That will be all for the Part B. For the next part, the Part C, earthworks, individual removal trees, individual removal of trees 150 to 300 mm diameter. Next, individual removal of trees 301 to 500 mm diameter. Next, removal of structures and obstructions. So, maogya po ni katong ganina para na siya sa payments sa ROW. Next, removal of structures and obstruction concrete for the removal of existing canal. Removal of actual structures obstruction 0.2 m thick PCCP. Next, removal of actual structures obstruction 0.1 thick ACP. So, para na siya sa removal sa asphalt. Next, surplus common excavation, embankment from the roadway or structure excavation, common soil. Next, subgrade preparation, common material. For the next part, the part D, sub-base and base course. Aggregate sub-base course. So, para na siya sa sub-base sa atong proposed widening and shouldering. Next, we have part E, surface courses. Portland cement concrete pavement 0.28 m thick, 14 days. So para na siya sa atong proposed widening and shouldering. Next, the part G, drainage and slow protection structures. Pipe culvert class 2 RCPC. So kani para na siya sa cross drainage. Next, line canal rectangular reinforced concrete. So para na siya sa both sides proposed line canal covered. Next, catch basins 910 mm diameter. That would be all for the part E, part G. Next, you have part H, miscellaneous structures, curb and gutter precast, right-of-way monuments concrete, regulatory sign 600 mm R610B miscellaneous signs, bike lane signs. So para gyapon ni siya sa sign sa atong proposed bike lane. Next, tree furnishing and transplanting. Next, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings green. And that would be all, sir, for the...
Okay, thank you for the discussion. So we now move on to the fifth one. No? We have 25HF0079. Still? Yeah.
Mr. Chair, additional information for 25HF0075. The scope of work is a road widening from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. So we are to acquire 20 meters, 10 meters from the center line, and also we've provided uh, zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.6 space for the utilities, including ng mga telcos, the mga water supplies, and the electric cooperatives. And also for this project, we have a component of right-of-way acquisition amounting to 3.5 million, which is separated and will be processed through our regional office. And also included in the contract is the payment for the affected structures. The specific location for this project is in Barangay Buanoy. If the contractor wants to conduct ocular inspection, you can go there. Um, it's in Chunishi, Heavy Industries, going to approach A of the Buanoy Bridge. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Pritchie. So that's it. So we now move on to 25HF0079. This will be discussed by Engineer Alpi Nino.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. For Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, title, Construction of Road at Barangay Mag-Alwa, Tuburan, Cebu. The net length of 639 meters with a total project duration of 108 calendar days. So for the items involved, we have provision of field office for the engineers, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineers. For part B, we have permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and demobilization. For part C, earthworks, we have individual removal of trees, surplus common excavation, embankment from roadway excavation, subgrade preparation. For part D, we have aggregate subbase course with a thickness of 0.2 meter. For part E, surface courses, we have Portland cement concrete pavement and reinforced 0.2 thickness and with 14 days curing. Then for part G, we have drainage and slow protection structures This includes pipe culverts for the cross drainage, line canal, stone masonry, and catch basins. Then for miscellaneous structures, we have trees, furnishing, and transplanting. This is for the replacement of the affected trees and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement. So the width of our road or the carriageway is 5 meters, and then we have a shoulder of 1.5, 0.6. Thank you.
Okay, that would be all. So, is there additional from the chief of the planning? Okay, so that would be all for 0079. Then we go now to the last but not the least, 25HF0080. And this will be discussed by Engineer Nino Alpi. Okay, proceed.
Again, for convergence and special support program under basic infrastructure program, construction of road from Barangay Binabag to Barangay Duwangan, Pinamungahan, Cebu, with a total length of 942 meters, a total project duration of 129 calendar days. This project is composed of 4 sections. Then for the items involved, we have Part A again, provision of field office for the engineer, operation and maintenance of field office. For Part B, other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and mobilization and demobilization. For Part C, earthworks, we have individual removal of trees, surplus common excavation, structure excavation, embankment from roadway excavation, subgrade preparation. For Part D, we have aggregate sub-base course with a thickness of 0.2. Part E, surface courses, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 0.2 meter thick. For Part F, reinforcing steel and structural concrete. This is for the foundation of the street light. Then Part G, drainage and slope protection structures, pipe culvert, line canal, stone masonry, catch basins, and stone masonry for slope protection works. Part H, miscellaneous structure, we have trees, furnishing, and transplanting. Again, this is for the replacement of the affected trees. Then reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white. Then single arm solar LED roadway lighting, 8-meter pole, 80 watts to 1 to 5 watts. So that would be all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. No more additional. Okay, that's for 25HF0080. So after those discussion of the technical details of the project, we now move to the policies and other directives from our department. So this would be discussed by Engineer Dali Almerol.
Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I will discuss the major category of work for the following projects that is going to be scheduled for opening of bid this coming March 17, 2025. For contract ID 25HF0010, the major category of work is RCSPS, road construction, slope protection using structural measures, and that is revetment, retaining structures, and wire net. For the remaining contract ID 25HF0073, 25HF0074, 25HF0079, and 25HF0080, the major category of work is RCP, road construction, PCCP. Next, I will be tackling the Department Order number 28, series of 2024. This is the three-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services and contracts. I would like to share the offenses that triggers the three-strike policy. First, if you withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. Second, submission of late bids without valid reason. And lastly, submissions of patently insufficient bid. So, patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. So, thirdly, I would like to discuss Department Order number 241 series of 2024. This is the guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program for DPWH infrastructure projects. So the construction safety and health program is to be submitted by the winning bidder during the issuance of notice of award. So before contract preparations, the winning bidder should have the approved construction safety and health program. So this safety and health program will be evaluated by the accredited CSHP evaluator from the construction section, and this is to be approved by the district engineer of Cebu 3rd District Engineering Office, which is DE Suset Wanaka. And lastly, I would like to remind the participating bidder that if any of you will win during the bidding process, I would like to remind to you with regards to the securing of necessary permits from the provincial capital, not limited to the quarry permit, and from the other permits coming from the LGU. So, and that is part of the OCM of the project. So that all, Mr. Chairman, from the construction section. Thank you and good morning, good afternoon.
Okay, thank you for those clarification. And we now ask from the maintenance, do you have something to add, Ma'am Lisel, and also Engineer Raul? Okay, Ma'am Lisel.
Mr. Chairman, I have no other additional
Ah.
info that are going to give. Thank you.
Okay, how about Engineer Raul Flores? Do you have something to say? No? Okay, so there are no more additional issues and concern, and there is no question there. Okay, so no viewing yet. So I think that would be all this afternoon. And I would like to remind everybody that the bidding for this project would be scheduled on March 17. March 17, that's Monday. Monday na lang. Okay, that's Monday. So see you on Monday. So in behalf of our DE, so on behalf of Cebu 3rd, I would like to uh, uh, greet everybody. Good afternoon, and thank you for your presence. God bless. Time check is now exactly 3.